This is the King's Court on Arena Sportsnet, presented by American Grappler.
I got more swagger than Mick Jagger, more sex appeal than Vince Neil.
All guests from all walks of life share their time with the King of Connecticut.
They are dreaming of just one night with a man such as myself.
Any and everything goes.
I am the King of Connecticut. I was raised with class and sophistication.
And now, from Norwalk, Connecticut, weighing in at 230 pounds, if George Clooney had muscles, they'd call him the King of Connecticut. The one, the only, Matt Granahan.
It is the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity, manipulating the minuscule minds of the masses of miscreants. Your host, the King of Connecticut, Matt Granahan, and I have a special guest tonight. She is the drop-dead gorgeous real estate mogul, the owner and operator of Lana's Egg Whites and the sponsor of Champions, Miss Lana Battagello. How you doing tonight, Lana?
I am doing great. That's quite an introduction. That might be the best one yet.
Awesome. Well,
Ever had.
excellent. Well, you deserve one hell of an introduction, Lana, because you are an entrepreneur extraordinaire. From your real estate business and to your egg whites company. I met you through the Baroni family. Mr. Phil, who I was just talking to earlier.
Love them so much. They're so great, they're thinking, to be in that business, that Phil's in, traveled all over the world, as you know, everywhere, Singapore, Thailand, everywhere, and just to have that beautiful woman, the most beautiful wife in the world, and they just, plug through like my other couples are, just falling apart. Yeah, I really have a lot of admiration for them.
I think that Angela Baroni, much like Miss Elizabeth, was the first lady of wrestling. I think Angela Baroni is the first lady of MMA.
Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's wonderful. I'll have to tell her that.
I told her that before. I said, Angela, you need to come out. Forget about that Chuck Zito coming to the ring or coming to the cage with Phil. I think that instead, I think that he should have the lovely Angela on his arm, walking him out to the ring. And speaking of the ring, Lana, I will be in Las Vegas, Nevada, coming up on May 17th. I'll be landing in the City of Sin. And on May 20th, I will be doing a tag team match at the Silver Dollar Casino. My tag team partner will be none other than New York badass Phil.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, so that's a week away from Bellator, so not this Saturday, but the third Saturday. Got it. Oh my gosh, that would be fun to go to.
Mark your calendar. Phil created our tag team. He came over, and I think this is so important in the world of professional wrestling. And now, let me ask you this: do you know Phil, who Phil's great uncle is in professional wrestling?
I don't, but I love how you say wrestling. That's like the real way.
It is none other than the captain, the late great Captain Lou Albano.
Gosh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Phil is Phil's great uncle is the great Captain Lou Albano. You all probably remember from the video with the one and only Cyndi Lauper back in the 80s.
Yeah. He was in it.
He was in it. Captain Lou Albano was a legend back in the 80s. You know, back in the 70s, 80s.
Because I love their songs. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It runs in Phil's blood. Absolutely.
It does. When you see, you know, and that was the one thing about Phil Baroni in the world of mixed martial arts. Same kind of thing I try to bring to that world is the flash and the flare. And Phil is walking out there with the ropes. He's walking out there with the sunglasses. He's strutting and strolling, and he's rocking and rolling, and he's entertaining while he's kicking booty.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I look at those pictures and I get happy. When he posts an old picture, I say it every time on his Facebook or his Instagram, like my poster. Phil put a book together, just the pictures alone. I mean, who has this? No one. You know, I mean, I think that he is one of the all-time great legends. I put him to the top of the list. I love King Mo, and you can ask him about any date in the world. But Phil, those two guys, I just have so much admiration for these guys. Phil is just he's a legend, and he's a living legend. He still wants to kick the shit out of everybody. He's too much, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, Miss Lana Battagello, I just finished up a wild and crazy week, and Brian, our producer, he can tell you, I had Dan the Beast 7 here with me this last week. The UFC Hall of Fame legend, one of my good buddies. We did a string of wrestling clinics together this week, and I had him on the show, and we did an hour of comedy, Dan and I, here at the house, and we never mentioned, I don't think we've ever even mentioned the winners of UFC. It was more of the Beast Comedy Hour, and Dan paid Phil a huge compliment when he was here, because when Phil was wrestling in Michigan in college, he used to go out there and train with Dan, and Dan said, you know, all these guys, you mentioned King Mo, all these guys like Conor McGregor, your King Mo's, these guys that have the flash and the flare and MMA, the guy that started all that was the New York Badass. He was the first guy to come out there and bring the entertainment.
That is right, and he did it well. Oh, did he do it right? Yeah, there was just a style about him. I mean, I think he even gained his opponent's, followers, when he walked out. I mean, people just loved him, for that reason. He was just so great. And what a fighter. What a fighter. I mean, we can't forget, and the people that he fought. It's just unbelievable. You've seen all the pictures, I know you have.
I'm going to tell you a story. Lana Battagello. You know I am from the great state of Connecticut, the king of Connecticut, if you will. I remember being in Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut, and Phil Maloney was facing Dave Monet at Mohegan Sun Casino. I don't even remember what year it was. It had to be at least 12, 13 years ago. And and I remember when Phil knocked Dave Monet senseless there in the cage, in the octagon. And he climbed up to the top of the octagon. He looked like King Kong up there on the top of the octagon. And he said, "I'm the best ever." That was yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. And I even remember having a few drinks with Phil there in the casino afterward, because one thing about a New York Badass is he does know how to enjoy himself as well. He lives like Dolce Vita, as you know, Lana Battagello, La Dolce Vita, baby.
La Dolce Vita, that's right. Yep. He does, he really does. And living in Las Vegas, oh my gosh, I remember when he was staying with, King Mo in San Jose, it's about 35, 40 minutes from me, and I'd go over there, barbecue, and everything, and then Phil said, we're going to go to Las Vegas, and I thought, oh, wow, I wonder how that's going to, work out for him, but it seems to be working out just fine, and she's done all her nursing and has all her credentials now, so she studied really hard, so I'm really, really happy for them. Angela really did a great job, and he's really, he's coaching a lot of kids right now, I mean, it's so funny because it's almost like God put him where he's needed right now. And Kira Patara, my other girl fighter, she wrote me and she said, man, she goes, Phil, it's because of Phil I won my last fight. I mean, he just taught her some things in like a 2-week time, and she's like an animal, Anyway, but she just has so much more confidence with whatever he taught her. Yeah,
Phil was a great coach. Phil was a great coach. Yeah. He's been here, done some clinics with me here. He's done a few with EWA. He just posted on his social media one we did a year ago. I guess it was a 1-year anniversary today at Elite Wrestling Academy in Anderson, South Carolina. And he is great with the kids. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. So we were there doing the clinic at EWA. This was 1 year ago today, and he's got in his luggage some posters. So the guy that ran the school, he goes, puts them up on the table, and he goes to me, he goes, are these supposed to be for the kids to see these, like the signings? And I guess Angela had packed them. And they were posters of Phil from his modeling career. Like maybe he was sitting there on a rock in a thong, kind of giving that. And the guy there, Mika Henderson, he goes, am I supposed to show these to my kid? And then I asked Phil, and he goes, I said, Phil, what the hell is this? And he was like, Angela, put those back in. Put those back in there. Put those back in there.
I did have to let them up about that. That's so cute.
Yes, well, Phil has been, he had a little career there as a male model, I guess, for a while.
Right, and bodybuilder. He was a great bodybuilder. His genetics are freaky. I mean, yeah, they're just unbelievable.
Now, speaking of bodybuilding, your father is a legend in the world of martial arts and bodybuilding. Talk a little bit, if you could, about your dad.
Yeah, gosh darn it. Now, he passed away in 2004, and he was just a man, I come from a heavy-duty Italian family, and I've never met anyone like him. It sucked, it just really sucked. He's just solid, didn't walk both sides of the fence, He taught us to be a person of your word, forget everything else. And he was bodybuilding when he was about 14 years old. We lived in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And down the street were the Weider brothers.
It's huge in bodybuilding, yeah.
Yeah, they own S1E8 Fitness magazine, and they put on the big bodybuilding shows with Arnold, but they're the mafia behind it. And so that's when he started, bodybuilding, and kept winning the shows around Montreal. We came out here to California. My uncle was a jazz musician, played with Buddy Rich, Sherry James, Frank Sinatra. All were great. It was really an interesting time for us, and both my dad and my uncle knew tons of celebrities, so it was really, really so interesting growing up in our family. My dad and my mom were, really great in love, and everything was for the kids, and my dad never left us with a babysitter ever. So we just all started training in the gym, and together, when we grew up, the kids, and dad and mom, and he was just a legend. He trained Arnold, he trained Luke Barrigno, the Barbarian Brothers. I remember story. My dad, my mom went down there, and I guess he was hanging out with Mr. T. And what was the A-Team? Was that the TV show, the A-Team?
Oh, yeah, the A-Team. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So dad was hanging out with all those guys, and, Mr. T would wear those, combat boots and those shorts, and they would be going to all these plush restaurants, and Dad says one day they took me to this restaurant, and they have all the phones on the table and stuff. But they wouldn't let us get on Mr. T, and so we said, fuck this, we're out of here. We can't come in, we're all out of here, But we had such a great time with all these guys, and so it was really fun meeting, Arnold through him and Lou, and he was the greatest trainer in the world. I mean, he would just slap somebody on the chest. If you can, bench, just say 85 pounds. One day with my dad, he'd take you mentally up to like 125. He had such a way of getting into your head and taking someone further than they ever thought possible. He was a great teacher. He was.
That's true. That's true, Lana, because you're a lot stronger than you think you are. Everybody. You don't know it. And, you know it. People find out sometimes in times of despair. When you hear about these stories, people lifting a car or whatever.
The mom lifting the car up her child. Yes, he would teach us that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can dig deep down and you can mentally focus, and a lot of it is relaxing your muscles, you're able to do a lot more than you think you can.
Yeah, you're so right, and that's the way he thought. That mental philosophy. He used to drive us in the car because it was always about, teaching us our power, and so he'd be steering and driving the car, and there'd be 3 kids in the car, and he'd say, "Watch," and he'd be in the fast lane. He'd go, "Watch me move this guy out of this lane." And we'd say, "Okay, Dad, okay." And he'd just stare into his neck, or his head, and the guy would just turn his blinker on. And, we would just, get him off guard. Dad, make that car move, boom. He was one of those guys that would lift the car up if he had to, in a minute. And he believed it, so everything was just so great. But, great growing up with my dad, and the bodybuilding industry was so great. So I kind of, I got Mr. Olympia, Jay Cutler, and now as one of my athletes, Team Lana. We have Phil, he's Phil Heath, he's Mr. Olympia now. And then I think I just got a little, I grew up on my dad's knee, watching Marciano and all those guys Monday night boxing, and I was just a little tomboy. And then my grandmother and she'd watch with my dad and my uncle the wrestling on Saturday night. So it was all about, fighting, and then, Dad had us in karate and judo and all this stuff. So I found one kid that was doing just jiu-jitsu, and so I said, "Hey, you want to be my athlete?" And he was a big bodybuilder at our gym, but he was just so limber, and he would just take, a line of kids down, 2 blocks. He'd just make them tap, make them tap, make them tap. So I kind of got more interested in the MMA, and I kind of went from there. It was really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I used to go to all you'll love this. I used to go to all the Las Vegas fights. Tyson, of course, in his day. Tommy Hitman Hearns. We were talking about the Eldorado Hotel. You flashed me back to Roberto Duran. And Vinny, just loved all those guys, and what was the smart mouth, Camacho, the showboater.
Camacho, oh yeah.
That's Camacho. So those were the days I was going to Vegas. Oh, what a time, and I met everybody, took the plane home with Joe DiMaggio. My photo album is, pretty deep, I met everybody there, and it was so great sitting VIP because you sat amongst all the stars, and everybody was so gracious back in those days, And it was such a beautiful time to go to Vegas and watch the fight, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What I was curious about is the Lana's Egg Whites, and you touched upon it. You sponsor so many of the top stars in UFC, Bellator, Pro Wrestling. You just rattle off some names for us. You've got so many, and I see it on your social media all the time.
I actually I'm going to pop up my Facebook on my iPhone because I just wrote it down today, what everybody was doing. Where did I put everybody? I'll just scramble a couple of names if that's okay. Well, King Mo, who I love, he's one of my greatest confidants and my teacher. Mike Jasper's fighting this weekend. Willie Gates this Sunday. Rick Rieger, Carl Badwater, Anthony Prettyboy, Leslie Smith is going on the 14th to Brazil. And on the 14th, we have my 5 Bellator guys fighting, King Mo. and Justin Baseman, and Nick Bustamonte's Bellator, James Krause, UFC, Chris Camozzi, Johnny Nunez, Zach Cummings, Bubba Jenkins, AJ McKee that just went to Italy and knocked the guy out in a few seconds, Kira Bachara that you really should meet when you're in Las Vegas. I want to set you guys up to meet.
Definitely,
Ashley Evans, please. Ashley Evans Smith, Glenna Avia Benedli, Tyler Diamond, out of Team Alpha Male, Benito Lopez out of the kids' school, Brick Mail, Bobby Lashley, Phil Baroni, James Aguilar, Bruno Lima, Jorge Lozano, Max Frick, and the team of Sacramento, Tiffany Canoma, and the last are JT Johnson and James Terry, who fought last week with great knockout, and Dre Mitchell, who broke his hand. And and Paige Van Zandt, we can't forget her.
How did you forget Paige? She is killing it on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, oh my God, she is enough. She invited me down to her apartment, to come watch this gig, and so I go down there, and they take your cell phone, in the VIP list, waiting to find my photographer, Shannon and I, and they take your cell phone, and how stupid of me, because I could see 3 people ahead, they're taking it rather than putting it down my pants. So we get inside, and it was just so fantastic, and you meet everybody and all the stars, and she's just, that girl, she's a professional at everything, and she's just, so politically correct, She's just an awesome chick, and she's got a big heart. We stayed at her apartment where all the stars were staying, and she just can't do enough for you. She's just a great person, and she wants to get back to the UFC immediately. She says, I want to win, but I want to get out of here. I want to fight. I want to get back in the cage.
Well, she's pretty much the shoe-in to win that Dancing with the Stars because she's got that dancing background.
Right. She's amazing. I mean, on Monday we watched her, and it was just over the top. She did the Tina Turner, Rolling on the River, and just,
oh yeah, man. She tore it up. I've seen her on there. She is amazing. And I'm going to throw a name out there for you that you didn't mention.
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage, of course. Yes, from pro wrestling. Yeah.
I love Brian. Love that guy so much. He, we'll text once in a while. I used to make so bad. Lana, what are you doing? I just got off the plane from Mexico. I'm going to go home. I need the egg whites, and I'm going to stay there. And tomorrow I'm going to go to Canada. How you doing, Brian? I just got back from Canada, and now I got to go to Mexico. I mean, oh my God, I do not know anyone that can handle this traveling like this guy. Get in that ring, and you've seen him. I am blown away by this guy, and I don't know why he's with, what is it, Lucha Underground now, or Lucha Underground?
Lucha Underground's it's a good company, but, I think it should be WWE.
I do too, but that's making me crazy. And what are we going to do about that? What do you got? What do you got?
I got Jerry Briscoe's number. I got Mark Carano's number. Head of talent for WWE. We could certainly try to make that happen with the King's Connections over there at the old WWE.
The guy is good. You'd be proud to put your name behind him. You'd be very proud. And I wouldn't offer you to do that if he wasn't. The guy's mind blowing. He's mind blowing.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen his work in the ring, and I started getting involved myself in pro wrestling back over 20 years ago.
Now, you were wrestling 20 years ago?
Yeah, I started doing pro wrestling. I competed in some MMA, after wrestling, after amateur wrestling, and on smaller shows I did well, and before it became what it is today. But I also did some pro wrestling, and pro wrestling is something that I still like to do on occasion. I mentioned I got the tag match coming up with Phil, but I helped Phil get involved in pro wrestling and get him booked at that angle with Chael Sonnen at Global Force. In Vegas, which was really cool. And I had Phil going into WWE, but they're so, I shouldn't mention it on the air, but what the hell, they're not the easiest company to deal with. They're very, they basically promised us something with Phil that we took to social media. He was supposed to go into NXT, and then they kind of pulled the curtain, and kind of pulled that away from us. and I know Phil wasn't very happy about that, but that was with Jerry Briscoe, and I did with Mark Carano too over there, who's the head of Allen. So we could get Brian Cage. We should get Brian Cage in there for sure.
He is. They're going to love you for it. I mean, I'll do what I can. Give me a name, give me a number. I'll do what I have to do. But,
yeah, I'll talk to Briscoe first about it, and we'll get him.
Okay.
We'll try to get him in there. But another good avenue for him is Japan. You know, New Japan is really good and also pays really well.
Yeah, I think that's what King Mo said too, and Phil, I believe. Yeah, both of them said that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, King Mo was in TNA wrestling, but he never really made it. He did like a couple of TV appearances, but he really didn't have any matches on there. I thought he would have been a natural in TNA, but TNA's kind of dropped off in the world of pro wrestling. There's really WWE's kind of cornered the market. Lucha Underground is good though. They've got a TV deal. You know what do you think about now?
What do you think about that $500,000 that King Mo made when he went and battled for Arise? Bellator let him go and do the Arise.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Unbelievable. I mean, taking them down one by one. If that wasn't proof that Mo was, such a badass, I don't know.
King Mo was awesome, and I don't know, I heard King Mo was fighting Phil Davis. Yes, that's gonna be a good. That's gonna be a good fight. When is that gonna be?
The 14th, a couple of days after you go to Vegas.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
You'll be an hour away by plane. 1 hour away.
I might have to go check that out and reach out there because that's going to be a great one. Yeah, because
great.
King Mo and Phil Davis is a great fight. I mean, rarely do they put two. They're both really high caliber wrestlers. Phil Davis is a national champion of that state. Yeah, and King Mo, King Mo was Olympian. So you got two guys that's going to be a hell of a fight.
It's going to be unbelievable, and I just can't wait. And of course, I'm praying that Mo's going to wipe them out.
I think he will, because you know what? I think the difference there, I think King Mo's got better hands, and he probably will. He'll probably knock him out. Would be my guess, because I don't think as good of a wrestler as Phil Davis is, as great a wrestler too as King Mo is. He kind of the wrestling itself might neutralize, and then you get into who's a better striker. I think King Mo might knock him out.
You got it right there. So I hope you're right, because that's what I'm feeling and hoping and thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about Lana's egg whites and how that came about.
This is such a cute story. Well, because my mom and dad were both bodybuilders, when I was born, and they were on the cover of magazines, together, so cute, married 52 years, and they were, met when he was 16, she was 14. They ate egg whites. My dad was so ahead of his time, and he was like a scientist when it came to muscle and creating muscle. The guy was just a genius. And so we always ate egg whites. And I remember, we were Italian, so we'd have our big pasta dinners, and we'd have the salami and the blowout on Sundays. But we ate, relatively clean. Like, we didn't have sugar in the house. We didn't have mayonnaise. And we'd go to somebody's house and we'd have, like, bologna on white bread. And I go, wow, this is good, with mayonnaise. And it was kind of good because it was different, But, Mom was always making a good homemade pizza and everything, And so I was born and raised eating egg whites. And then Dad said, we kind of got a little thicker here in Danville where I am, in our real estate and the bodybuilding. And everybody, really knows our family. So Dad says, maybe we got to do something, like get this egg white thing going over here, I said, yeah, Dad, let's do something. And the next thing we know, Mike Soprano, remember the handbook, the steroid handbook?
Yeah.
Remember that? Now I'm forgetting the name of the guy that wrote it. He didn't really write it, but he was in prison, and they pretended that he wrote it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just really a guy that was living upstairs at Fool's Gym in Venice, and he wrote it. But the guy that was in prison was taking clenbuterol for his asthma, so it just ripped him up. So they decided to write this handbook on steroids. So anyway, Dad kept his yacht down there at Marina Del Rey, and we were always kind of going back and forth. Dad was, a boat down there, and me and Mom and my sisters would fly down there because he was spending all the gas on the boat. Mom would say, "Come on, we're going to Beverly Hills." So she'd take us on a little spending spree. So one day we were in LA, and we had met, some people from one of the big USA contests, and it was Curtis Leffler. He was no longer with us. We came back, and Mr. Santano said, Mr. Battagello, to my father Aldo, he said, I want you guys to come down, and I want you to meet someone very special. I want your daughter Lana to meet Roland Kickinger. And my dad said, "Okay, we're coming down anyway. There's some things down with the boat, So anyway, we went down there. We had this big, beautiful dinner with Roland Kickinger. I don't know if you know him, but you can look up Kickinger, KICKINGER.com right now. And he's a 6'6" Austrian that Arnold brought over here from Austria. And he was on the Muscle and Fitness cover probably more than anybody ever put together. And so anyway, I went down there and met him, and we were all captivated by this guy's beautiful charm, and such a beautiful guy. And so we got to know each other's phone, and then I went down there, and we started dating back and forth to LA, One of the most wonderful people that I've ever met in my life, and just, love him till today. And he says, "Lana, I'm going into the movies. Arnold's going to let me play the younger, Arnold, and, maybe you want to take the egg white company to put your name Lana on it, So we're all laughing, and so we came home and we were all brainstorming, my brother and my dad and Mom and my sisters and I, we're looking up, in the dictionary, some heavy-duty names for the egg white protein, what could we use? And my brother goes, "Just put Lana's on it, just put Lana's on it, just like Mrs. Fields did." And that's how it started. That's awesome. Yeah,
let me ask you, Leon, to switch it up. Growing up in an Italian family and go up in a predominantly Italian family, did your family or your grandfather or uncles ever make wine?
I made wine. I did the barrel in the basement.
Yes, because I grew up on homemade wine, and I still to this day remember, my dad's homemade wine.
Yeah, and how they kept the gallon under their table and they just pull it up and pour it for glass. My Nunu, my grandfather, Angelo, was a dapper man, and when my grandmother, my Nuna, would lay down that red and white checkered tablecloth, that there was going to be a feast, but it was just for him. And he came at a certain time, and I would just sit and watch him, Matthew. I mean, it was like a show. I mean, I could have paid for it every time, and I'd sure pay handsomely to see him eat today. But the way he ate, and he would never talk when he was eating. He would just look at you and, kind of lick his lips and chops, It was a beautiful growing up Italian family, and it was with my dad. It was a story every night. We would eat, and we'd go down to the basement in Canada, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where I was born, and my dad would put on a show. One night he'd be Elvis, one night he'd be the Rifleman, gangsters, whatever. It was so great growing up in the Italian family, and I grew up in the snow. We used to ice skate on the St. Lawrence River, and then we came to California because my uncle was a jazz musician, like I told him. So, it brought us out here, and a lot of opportunity for my uncle. And we just, took root in Walnut Creek, the most fascinating, beautiful town in California here in Walnut Creek. And, 10 minutes from Danville, where I live, and it's just the most beautiful area to live. Up the street, we've got all the ball players, the Open A's, and everybody. It's just such a nice little town that hasn't been ruined yet. But I know the zombies are coming.
Now, growing up in Montreal, did you speak French? Parlez-vous français?
We, and I grew up in French school, and so I was in, born and raised in Beaugenjou, and I went to Wilfrid Peltier School, and I spoke French. And then we came here, and of course I had to speak Spanish, so I kind of speak. I don't speak anything well now. Even my Italian, since my grandparents, it's really, I've lost everything, which is kind of bad. I always swear to, go and take a class and, learn it again. But I think you have to be around the people all the time.
You've got to speak it. It's use it or lose it. I was at the gym this morning. I was at the gym this morning. I was talking to there was a couple of girls that were there from Argentina, and they Spanish speaking. And they asked me if I spoke Spanish, and I tried to have a conversation. I used to be very conversational in Spanish, and I pretty much lost it. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand, and I can speak fast, but I can't. It's the comprehension of when they speak back to you. That's the hardest part.
Yeah. And when I went to Italy, it was all coming back to me, and I was so excited. It was maybe 10 years after my grandparents died, and I was so happy. It was just coming back to me. And
I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story because I got a good.
I like your stories.
I got a great opportunity before my grandmother passed away to go to. My grandfather already died by that point, but to go to the town where her parents were from, because it was based on wrestling, actually, because I was with Kamal Shawaruz. We were doing a wrestling clinics at Rome and Naples, and the guy in Naples kind of stiffed us, but we took a boat, an overnight boat. My mother's family from Sicily, the grandparents. So I got a chance to go down there, and it was actually the year that my grandmother died. And I got to go to the town, Agrigento, that my grandmother's was from, their parents were from, and she had never been there because she'd always wanted to go. So I got a chance to go. I got a chance to take pictures. This was before the, the cell phone pictures. This was when, this was like when you bought the throwaway camera.
The film,
in those days, and the film. I was able to get some great pictures and beautiful, beautiful town, beautiful water. She had never seen it, and that's where her parents were from. I mean, they lived until they were teenagers. And I thought that was really cool, to be able to see that, and she really appreciated. She cried when she saw the pictures because she said she never got to go there, and she knew she never would. So that was really cool, and that was. I was able to do it.
What was the city she was born in?
Agrigento is where her grandparents were from, which is in Sicily. It's like on the southwestern side. Like you take the overnight cruise to Palermo and then kind of take a bus to go south. From there, it's beautiful.
Been to Palermo, those beautiful stuff. I'd love to go on that side. I've never been. My mom still wants to go over there on that side. We did, Venice and Rome and all that stuff, and Milan and, all the other areas, but never to Sicily, and I just know it's wonderful. I just would love to go.
Well, I've never been to the northern part, and Kamal was captain of the British Olympic team for freestyle, and he knew a lot of the Italian wrestlers, so we got to go to Rome, and that's how we got these clinics. It was basically just coaching clinics, and it wasn't like we didn't make a lot of money, but we got basically a free trip.
Really? Oh my God!
Yeah, it was really cool. It was cool to be able to do that, before my grandmother passed away.
If you're gonna be a square, you ain't gonna go nowhere.
Let me tell you about American Grappler Wrestling and MMA Outfitters. American Grappler makes shirts that honor the American wrestling and combat sports tradition unlike any other brand on the market today. And I'm going to tell you a little personal story. American Grappler just did a tribute shirt to my coach, my mentor, one of my best friends, the legendary Billy Wicks, who just passed on, and all of the profits of this shirt are going to Billy Wicks' family. That's what kind of a brand this is. They are not just an advertiser on the King's Court. They are not just an advertiser on the Arena Sports Network. They have become family. And let me tell you something else about American Grappler. Their shirts are of the finest quality. I've been training in these shirts and wearing them proudly for years. Support American wrestling heritage. Go to AmericanGrappler.us today. You'll be happy you did.
ArenaSportsNet.com is your one-stop shop for everything sports, from the NFL to the NBA, National Hockey League, Major League Baseball, soccer, MMA, and lots more. Check out our live play-by-play action from high school and college sports and a little professional on the side. ArenaSportsNet.com, where every fan has a voice.